There we go. Cool. It's over there.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm gonna keep doing this. Okay. Hi everybody.
So
This is the DM newsletter for This Is Gonna Hurt. Before we start today, I just want to mention that there's a dog being babysat here. So she's wandering around and just barking at nothing. So if you hear barking, that's why.
sorry.
I can't really do anything about it.
Nope.
Cool. So, yay, we're back. It's been like a month and a half. It was cool. We finished recording season 2. You guys have like
3 left.
3 episodes left, I think.
Yeah.
If you're a patron, you already got one of those, so cool. Should check it out. And then we got hopefully some cool stuff over the summer, and then we'll start season 3 sometime in the future. If we don't get canceled. Do podcasts ever get like canceled? I forgot to hit record on my memo thing. Cool. No, wait a second. Yay! I did it. Okay. So the last thing that happened, because we always do like the recap stuff, is the Goblin Splooshers went to the party of Count Ezra Sea Tamer. The party hasn't actually started yet. We got there early. We talked to the Count. He gave us guild stuff. And then we wandered off because he had to do like real things. And actually, I said we. Windar wandered off, and while we were all in the hall. And then we had to go find him. And then, so the last thing that happened was that we found him. Yay! But he went through some weird stuff, and we don't know that yet. Or we don't know what it was.
Oh, you don't know what it was.
You also don't even know what. No, they will know what it is.
Yeah.
Later today? No, today's Saturday. Later tomorrow.
Later tomorrow.
7 p.m. I don't know if we're EST or EDT right now.
Listen for the bells. Dum dum dum.
But yeah, so before we get into like stuff about that, because I have to think of stuff about that, we did get one question this week on Twitter, and I thought it was good because we've actually had this conversation semi-recently.
I'm ready.
So how do you keep track of your characters' accents?
I just do.
That's really upsetting because I can't.
So, I mean, I do and then I don't. I mean, like, so I remember with, when you guys were in Lorne, the leader guy, I kind of, his changed because between sessions I didn't go back and listen to what he sounded like.
Yeah.
So him I just lost.
But I feel like you.
And then
you've
recently
gotten
with
lucky.
Ezra, I feel like
You ran into a problem with Ezra.
I couldn't, because all week I had been, apparently it didn't come across as a German accent, but like all week I'd been doing what I was hearing as a German accent. And so that's what I used. But then when we had to do them again, I hadn't been doing it all week again. And
Right.
so it wasn't just there on the tip of my tongue. But
So is that something that you do?
Or like
when
people
you-
like Littleface, I mean, she's like, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my store, folks.
you know, that's just like
So I got two
part of me.
things. I mean, one thing is like some of the characters you come up with have like really unique voices, which I think makes it easier. Like Oboth, Lilithus.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them I would have a hard time keeping track of, like Aegisar and Gallandan, but those are
Same
basically
voice.
your voice. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a little. I'll be right back.
Very similar personality. We're in a different location today, in case you didn't notice. Steven is like dog / house sitting. That's why. That's Coco, by the way.
Okay.
She's old.
She is old. Where were we? Accents. Gallandan and Aegisar are the same person.
It's pretty
And
similar,
it's
yeah.
pretty much just you with like just like a little bit of inflection or something. I don't know exactly what, but it reminds me of the way Brian is just Seth
Yeah.
MacFarlane, kind of.
I mean, with those, I don't let my...
Yeah.
I try to keep it a little more monotone, and I don't let my voice go up past a certain point, because then it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. And it works. So they're both very like
Mm-hmm.
monotone people.
Mm-hmm.
Like
They're both pretty serious. That's my serious voice.
Okay.
I would say.
But for like other characters like Ezra or we just run into like random people, are those like voices that you practice throughout the week? Like you have to like practice a German accent for like weeks to get on.
Ezra was, but that's more just I didn't even know what his voice was gonna sound like, and I'd been because of Liam O'Brien from Critical Role. I'd just been trying to work on a German thing.
Okay.
And so that was just kind of what was on my face.
Gotcha.
When I just needed a voice. But like Oboth, I practiced. Oboth, I knew what he was going to sound like going into it. Littlefish, I actually wanted a little older, and he just got a little more cute as we were going on, and he's a little more kind of like. If you ever watched or listened to Hello from the Magic Tavern, Littlefish to me is what Flower is like their first guest.
Yeah.
It's kind of I realized that it's a little bit like
I'm a flower.
Like.
Nice.
Yeah, so, but originally, Lillifus was supposed to be King Boomy from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I didn't escape. Everybody else escaped.
Like, that was supposed to be Lillifus. And it's just, which if you go back and listen to, like, his first appearance, like, there's a little bit of that in there. And it just kind of morphed and...
Okay.
That one's easy. Actually, you know what? How do I keep track of them? Sometimes, like, because, like, Lillifus will always say, welcome to my store, folks. Like, I will say that.
Right.
And it kind of just helps me find the spot in my throat of where Lillifus is.
I'm sure you've never seen it, but there was a skit, I think, on Saturday Night Live with, I think it was Fred Armisen. Armisen?
I don't know.
Whatever his name is. And he was playing, like, a dictator of, like, some country somewhere. And he was doing like a movie where he was playing like all the characters, and he was in Boston, so he kept doing like a Boston accent. But he had this one line he had to say before every line because it was how he got into like the Boston accent. It was funny because he kept saying it literally before every single
I'm walking
line.
here.
Yeah.
No, it's like yeah.
But it was something. But that reminds me of that.
Wait, no, it's Chicago. That's the wrong place. I made a mistake. I was listening to the podcast. In our intro question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading this book on blue zones.
Yes.
I'm actually, now that we talked about how it's taken me so many years, I'm actually trying to finish it. It's actually in my car right now. And I said centurions. I meant to say centenarians. A centurion is like a Roman soldier who's in charge of 100 people. But a centenarian is somebody who... I was laughing at myself. I was like, that's not the right word. Anyway, back to voices.
I mean, so for me, I run into this problem where I have been doing a pretty good job of coming up with like characters to fill out Maelorn, but I don't think about their voices, and I ran into that as a problem when we were recording our session almost a year ago now. We click on things, make stuff go away. So it was like a year ago, and you specifically made me voice like 5 characters, like one after the other. So I was making up their voices on the spot. And the problem with that is because it was their introduction, like I don't have the voices like cemented.
Right.
So I'm literally gonna have to listen to those clips like right before we play.
We're fairly forgiving.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys won't
We're
even
not
notice.
going to go back, and the listener is not going to be like, that's not the same.
It depends on how much time you guys wind up spending there. If it was just like,
yeah,
a one-time thing. I mean, I could always kill all 4 of them and just keep one.
I could kill a 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
With my sweet little squirrel.
Yeah.
My Ratatosk.
But I guess that's accents. We had some technical difficulties. We're back. When we put this up, we'll splice it all together, so it's just one video.
Splice.
Splicer. No, don't do that. Sorry, I'm clicking around a lot to make sure we are actually good. Copy. And paste. Hopefully that worked. I don't know. I don't know if that worked. Okay, cool. So we're back, and we were talking about stuff, and season 2 stuff, but I don't remember exactly what now.
Yeah, who knows where we got cut off.
Yeah. So we'll just talk about something else.
My Onyx just died.
What? Didn't die, fainted.
Fainted, yeah.
They don't die.
Well, some of them do. Like, it says that Spoink has to keep hopping because that's
Yeah.
what makes its heartbeat. So when you knock out a Spoink in the wild, he dead.
That's dark. I feel like they do those things. They don't realize like
Yeah.
how dark it is because there's like certain things that like other ones that are like that too.
There's the one ghost type who's got like a gold mask face, a Yan mask. And it says that it was once a human in life,
Right.
and its face is what its human face looked like, which is so messed up on multiple levels. One, the idea that dead humans become Pokemon is just insane. Second of all, like, oh, and then it says sometimes it looks at its face and cries.
Aw.
It's like very dark
That's
Pokemon
messed up.
company.
I know there was one that like would lure kids like into the darkness with like a lantern or something like that, and then just like I think it's implied that they kill them, but I don't think they say it. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah.
child death, right?
Welcome to the Pokemon podcast.
Yeah. Season 2, stuff happened. So
Yeah, it's true.
what? So you didn't do this. At least you haven't done it yet, or if you have, you haven't told us about it. So between seasons 1 and 2, you rolled that die.
Yes.
And you know, it could have been 1 to 20 years. There's just one, which was awesome for us because we were able to kind of get right back into it without worrying too much about like consequences. I feel like if it had come out as like a 20, that could have been like a big thing. I was thinking about it because Dragonborns don't live that long, so that could have been from like Windar is like a youngish adventure guy. It's like he's like a middle-aged guy.
Well,
and the rest of us, I think maybe Goliaths are like that too.
My thought was because I decided that I was gonna roll the die between each temple, and you actually don't know that I haven't
yeah, that's true.
done that for the water temple, and we're just buying time at this moment. But because my thought was that if somebody picked a human or
Right.
something, and somehow I rolled 20s every time, then that's 80 years in the, you know what I
Right,
mean?
so
And
by
like,
the end of season
by the end
4
of
or whatever,
by the end of the
season 3.
adventure, we've seen this human start off as this 20-year-old, and he's now this 80-year-old
Right.
man who's and I just thought that'd be cool.
Also, he's a level 20. Hope maybe if he lived that long as an 80-year-old. So he's like this super buff, like
yeah,
ready to like go do stuff. 80-year-old.
like Billy from Adventure Time,
yes.
just like ancient but still
Yeah.
kicking booty.
Yes, that was cool. I don't know. I mean, I want to like talk about.
Yeah,
But I can't.
The end of season 2.
Hopefully in July we have a session. Hopefully in July for like the in between stuff. So we'll probably do our July newsletter right before we start the session, and then we can finally talk about the craziness that happens in season 2 that we can't talk about yet. Coco, what's up? She's just wandering.
It's cute and sad.
I know. Oh, I should have looked at it. I think it was like 10 minutes. All right, cool.
Sorry, I can't help but look at the screen.
It's just back and
It's
forth.
really hard.
It's hard. Usually we have the TV like
Yeah.
with the camera, and just the situation for today.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do that. We apologize. I'm apologizing for lots of things. I do have. So one of the things we're probably going to be airing over the break is the first episode of the B Team, just so you guys can hear it, get an idea of what it's like, what it is, and then we'll.
And maybe it gives you an incentive to join the Patreon because it's
That's literally how we're gonna be able to put it out.
Patreon people will get it way more regularly than
Yeah. Yes, I think we're doing it.
yeah.
So once a month for the non-Patreon people, and then the patrons will getting it every other week. Every other week. So they'll get an extra podcast twice a month, which is cool. I'm really excited because we tentatively have a session scheduled. And
Yeah.
it's literally like a year after our first session. Our first session was an all-weekend session, which was crazy.
Fun.
It
It
was-
was crazy fun.
It
but
was a lot of fun, but
I can only imagine him.
yeah, it was hard because then I had to like try to make adjustments, but I was also like hosting
That was only-
players.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like trying to like do stuff overnight while also helping people like with their sheets, and it was
Yep.
it was good times. This one should be better because I think we're going to like a regular like 5 or 6 hour session maybe.
Did you see the tweet? Somebody tweeted about us, sort of, and said something to the effect of that she was making. I believe it was a she. If it is a he, I apologize. But said that she was making her first Pathfinder character
Yes.
while listening to "This Is Gonna Hurt" and "Critical Role."
Which is insane. I never thought I would see those two in the same sentence. So
Yes.
that was super cool.
Clearly,
It was Tina. So
hasn't-
thank you, Tina.
Yeah, Tina.
Because you put us up.
I hope
on,
it.
like,
I hope it went well.
Yeah.
Your creation of your first. We don't know that much about Pathfinder. I'm assuming you're talking about Pathfinder 2, or whatever they call it, because they, last year they came out with a new version.
Did they come out with a new version?
Yeah, like last year, or
Oh,
something.
I was not aware.
Yeah, there's an updated version of Pathfinder.
That's cool. Oh no, they just announced it like a couple months ago.
I think it came out.
Announces Pathfinder 2nd Edition for summer 2018.
Oh, okay.
That's cool though. So you're probably playing the. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, the 3.5 Pathfinder. Because that's really what it is. But that's cool. Pathfinder's pretty cool.
And
There's
actually,
a lot
if
of stuff
you
can
happen
do.
to listen to this, Tina, tell us what that character ended up being, because I'm
I think
super
she-
curious now.
She did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's find out.
Marissa just told me about it, and actually,
Oh, she didn't. She did do some crazy stuff, so that's kind of cool. Oh no, she did in the original one. A female halfling paladin.
of Caden Callian.
I feel like that's probably like the way Forgotten Realms are for like D&D or Shadowfell or stuff like
I
that.
want to know who Caden Callian is.
I think that's like, oh maybe that's the goddess, the
Definitely.
god. Yeah. Cool. He's gonna look that up. He's
It is
very
a Pathfinder
interested.
thing,
It is.
first and foremost. The accidental god, the drunken hero, the lucky drunk.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So good,
Yes.
good choice. Way to be, Tina.
Yeah.
Brimley would approve. I feel really bad because I can't like think of things. So we did have a question, and I think you were the one that actually put it out on Twitter to have just like random class and race combinations, like character backgrounds. Can I talk about why you did that? Cool. So as you guys know, we have this job board now for the Goblin Sploshers, and they're off saving the world. So they'll probably try to do stuff on the job board every now and then, but won't always be able to do that. You also saw us kind of set up the guild to run in our absinthe with Aiko as like the manager. We have the dwarf, Frogo. Thank you. Because I always think of the Goliath because you mixed up their names like the first time when we were talking.
Hill.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
wait. Hill.
So
is the dwarf.
the characters that you suggested are most likely going to wind up being the characters we're going to be playing as like
The C team.
Yeah, so people that are like joining the guild and doing like let's rescue the dog type
Low-level
missions.
missions. Yeah.
Stuff that, if we went to do them, it'd be kind of crazy.
Actually, that rescue the dog mission has already been.
Have you already?
It's already
taken
been
care of
completed
that? Okay.
in some capacity.
Somehow
By
it's
Frogo.
no longer on the list.
Yes. Ah!
Did you just get attacked by a dog?
I mean, it wasn't attacked. It just tickled my foot. Hello.
Oh, that's cool. So we also, I don't think we're ever gonna get to this. I really want to know what happened to that halfling that ran away from Frogo. If he
Oh,
was-
don't worry.
Okay, we'll figure that out. But so over the summer, the session we're gonna be doing in July is actually not a "this is gonna hurt" session so much as like the guild applicants trying to join the guild, improving themselves and stuff like that. So we'll be doing your job board quests, which I think could be a regular thing, which would be cool. That'd be so much editing. We're gonna have to hire somebody.
So give us money.
Yeah, if you give us money, we'll be able to put out more because I can't edit that much. I can't. But that'd be cool. I have like an eyelash in my eye; it's killing me. So I'm gonna let you talk for a minute about whatever you want to talk about.
Sure.
And I'll be right back.
I'm not afraid of dead air. Somebody pointed out to me that I've spent a lot of time maybe like deifying the members of the 12.
Like just like up talking to the point where it's like.
Yeah, and I haven't spent
demigod
as much
level.
time talking about the actual gods. So the articles that have been going on Patreon have been
More about that.
I'm working my way through the gods. The next one that's going to go up will probably be
I think
maybe El Kavara. I don't know.
you put up
2
yes.
Dunraz and Miliana.
Thank you.
So
was
I
cool.
have been doing a lot of thinking about the 12 though lately.
You've been thinking about the 12 like constantly. I don't know what you mean like lately.
I think there's a chance that you actually may not meet all 12
Like
in the scope if this is going to hurt.
that's craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because
Yeah, that was kind of what was so unsettling to me. Is that like, what are they, like who cares? Like, yes, they're the adventurers of destiny, but like, still, what are the odds that you'd meet all 12
that's true.
of the biggest superheroes?
That could always be like a bucket list thing. Like when we start our next campaign after this one.
My
Yeah.
thought was that way, like because they are immortal. So even if the next campaign happened 500 years after the conclusion of this one, to get to meet like that
Right.
11th and 12th member that you didn't meet even in like another life,
Right. Could be cool.
We actually still though haven't even talked about we haven't talked about Epic Destinies in a while. So I don't know if you remember, but there was that guy, he
Yes.
posted that 4-part, he kind of
Which was super cool.
he did such a good job.
If you're going to be doing a post level 20 campaign,
yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but
I don't either.
He's got 4 different guides to Epic Destinies, and it's like it's
did a
really one guy, but
yeah.
it really branches them out.
One is for just like a bunch of kind of different warrior archetypes. One is
Right.
the more magic archetypes. One is like
I think it was like
the more
religious,
spiritual,
yeah.
demigod, angel, devil, shadow lord, things like that. He did a really good job.
cool.
And
Ooh, excuse me.
if we continue that long, because our who knows if the timing is going to work out.
Right.
So I don't really like milestones. We've just been doing sessions, right? So 1 to 10 was every 2 sessions they level up. Going forward from 10 to at least 15, it's every 3 sessions. I've been toying with the idea that 16 to 20 is 4, but I think I might keep it as 3. And if you get to level 20 before, if you don't level up to 20 exactly right before the final boss fight,
Right.
that's an okay thing. If you get there a little early, and then we can actually start to weave in
The epic
your
stuff.
epic destinies, and you're
That'd
like,
be
yeah,
cool.
we're still trying to save the world, but I'm trying to become the World Tree Guardian or whatever,
Right.
whatever anybody's gonna pick. Because I really like what he did. I think he did it really.
There are a bunch of really cool,
At that point, you'd be
supplemental
stronger
materials.
than the 12,
just kind of insane.
which would be really cool. That could you could have an epic destiny and also decide to try to become one of the 12.
See, because to me, when you first brought it up, I thought of the 12.
Some of the members of the 12.
Right. I thought of the 12 that. Them being in the 12 was kind of their version of Epic Destiny. So because once they hit 20, it's not like they don't get any more powerful anything like that. They're
Right.
immortal.
No, I mean, so
Yeah.
different members of the 12, you could think about it.
I'm so worried about this stuff.
Yeah, sad but cute but sad. So certain members of the 12 don't have any or bare bones level 20 characters.
Right.
Maybe with 1 epic boon. Well, everybody has at least 1, which is immortality.
Right.
But some of the stronger ones who've been in it for 1,000 years have their 5 levels of epic destiny, and they're just
Yeah.
waiting to peace out.
Cool.
So there are certain members that even as level 20 or 21 or 22 characters, you probably still couldn't
Right.
take on. And you also have to think that over 1,000 years, how much gold you've amassed and how many magical items you've
Right.
you've acquired.
true.
You know what I mean? Like a belt of storm
Yeah, if
dragon
they've been,
strength
level
gives you
20
a 29 strength.
If they've been level 20 characters for 1,000 years, for them, finding, artifacts or legendary items is not.
Or just to point
Crazy.
out, there's a manual of intelligence, and it lets you go up 1 intelligence point, and it lasts for 100 years. It goes inert for 100 years. But if you're immortal, every 100 years,
Just get
you keep opening that book.
Right.
And the crazy thing about that is it increases your intelligence, and it also increases your intelligence max by 1. It's actually the only way in the game that you can go past. Once you're level 20 and you get into the epic boons, it suggests that you increase the ability cap to 30.
right.
But even those books could even surpass that.
It's kind
Which
of crazy.
means that there could be
They're
a character with like a
so
35
smart.
intelligence.
They're like, that level of intelligence is insane. So when you think about it, if like a 10 or 11 is
That's like an
average
Alakazam.
intelligence-
I've been thinking a lot about Alakazam.
You know what that-
It says that Alakazam's IQ is like, 1,000 or whatever. And so we've got this creature with 1,000 IQ and has the ability to move things with his mind. But yeah, it's a servant to humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It-
Anyway, sorry.
I'm thinking like, because I just watched Lucy like 2 days ago, which I've seen before, but I watched it again. And she unlocks like, her brain's potential.
Her
like,
whole brain.
Yeah, and she winds up being able to like manipulate the world around her because of
Yeah.
that. So it winds up like, level 35 intelligence is like that, but I feel like they even like more than that. Because I feel like a level 20 or something like that, like that's.
To me, like,
Which actually Brimley's a level. He has a 20 intelligence.
Stephen Hawking was like 30.
Okay.
Like 30 is as smart as a human
Right.
could be.
Gotcha.
So
Cool. Nice. I feel like I had something else, but I can't think of it. So I'm just gonna do like the "this is what's coming up" thing, and then if we think of anything else, we'll talk about it. If not, then we'll probably peace out. I am really excited for the adventures that they have coming out in the fall, which is the Waterdeep adventures. I'm sorry, but like a 23 level like mega dungeon is just like awesome to me. That'd be really cool. I just really want to play more modules. We have to finish the one we're playing. So, coming up, we have the end of Season 2. We have some break stuff for you where you're going to hear the first episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt B Team, Goblin Spooshers Abroad. I can't remember what we keep calling it. It's another podcast. We'll be doing some stuff off the job board. Hopefully we'll be able to record a couple of sessions over the summer and then get right back into Season 3.
maybe find
In the
out
fall?
what Lorthamar is up to.
That would be cool. Lorthamar, the Half Baked Bakery would be cool. I'm just interested in that. That's really where I'm at.
No.
Guild Hall stuff, because now the guys have the land for a Guild Hall and they got to work that out.
You remember that halfling the one that had a crush on Brimley?
Yes,
Really can't wait till you meet her friends.
her friends.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
I
Like
know.
the way you're saying that scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I teased in something that I thought was gonna make it into Season 2, but didn't. So it was like ended up being kind of like well, you'll see it someday.
I kind of like when that happens though, because then like you get to like Season 3 and you're like, oh, that's like what that like little clue.
They're gonna have
was.
this one item that you're gonna really, really want,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make you beg for it.
Was it off my wish list?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not a real item.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Because it's gonna break the game.
Oh, and then we've been releasing the chapters. If you're in the chapter, for the player's guide.
My
to
bad.
Latrune and Maylorn.
One of them took a while.
Well, we got it published in time.
Oh, really?
Yes. I give you like a deadline 2 months ahead of time because I know
Yeah.
you handed it in 3 days,
Yeah.
2 days before it was supposed to go live.
My bad.
By the way, your next one's due like tomorrow, so
Yeah.
good luck. But yeah, so we did the most recent one that's going to be going up tomorrow, I guess, is actually it might be going up today, is a little guide to the guilds of Etrune. Before that was a guide to the Dragonborns of Maylorn. I have the half-work one coming up next for Maylorn. Do you know what your next one's going to be yet? Cool. I can't wait for us to get enough material from all that to actually make like
Well,
a
the problem with that
coherent
is I keep
thing.
jumping, like, topics.
Yes, but I think that's fine. I mean,
Like, I did the
it'll take us a long
Elementarium,
time.
and I would love to make a guide to the schools of magic of Etrune, and so
Right.
just like there's one chapter for each.
Which in an actual book would wind up being like all those things wind up being one chapter because you tend to write shorter chapters. I mean, I do too. I wrote one really long chapter.
I mean, think about it.
And the rest was like 3 pages.
If you do 8 that are 3 pages long,
It's like a 20.
you know, it's like a not so much a book, but like a
novella.
pamphlet.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more than 8 schools technically. Like there's the the school for abjuration and the school for evocation. Right in the middle is the war wizards, like academy. Like it's not like a full.
Right.
They don't get invited to like the
University
meetings
of
of the
Phoenix.
8. Yeah, I mean it's more than that. No offense, Phoenicians.
But yeah, so
I'd love it for you to make it to Varelk at some point, but it might never happen. That's okay. The city of 10,000 schools.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
There's like I got like a whole. I have
We got a
I have
lot
like
of
a
stuff to cover.
whole campaign
You know what's
centered around.
been hard for
Varelk.
me is I've been doing chapters on like an entire region. So I'll do something on like the forest gnomes and like where they live, and then
Right.
the elves, and then but I'll do like little things in there about specific places or something. But I don't know how you do it, but you're able to like do a whole like guide on like one really specific thing and like really flesh it out. So I know I'm gonna hit that point where I've covered like I think I have like 8 regions or something like that. So I'm gonna hit 8 regions, and then I'm gonna go like more into specifics for like.
I mean, it ends up being really helpful. Like I wasn't
It
gonna.
does.
You weren't gonna go to. There wasn't gonna be a ball in the castle, and it was just gonna be like, we'll find a way. I'll find a way to end. Well, you'll see how it ends, but that's the ending I had in mind, or
Okay.
one of them. There were like 3 that all ended completely different ways, and we'll start season 3 in completely different ways, and I'm cool with whichever way it goes.
Cool.
But I had no intention of you actually going into the castle. That's why, like, when you first saw it from the distance, it was like, yeah, it's a castle. But then, because of that guide, you know, I had to write about
Right.
Calm Tide Manor, and I was like, well, now I have this, so
Might as well use it.
I'm gonna
Which
use
is
it.
cool. If you're developing your own homebrew worlds, writing like actual little guides to the areas just makes you think so much more in
Definitely.
depth, which
Definitely.
I really recommend. I wish I had started doing it for Maylorn like before we actually started playing.
And then even like, so I borrowed 2 things from like 2 different animes when I made my guide to the guilds, and just totally ripped off the Justice League, the Avengers, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. For funsies, you know, like not just because I'm not creative, but it was fun to convert them.
Yeah.
But there's like mission ranks, which there's kind of like both in Fairy Tail and Naruto is very similar. And then there's these threat levels, which is very One Punch Man. But I realized that like, for me, I love the idea of like adventuring guilds, and I love the idea of a society that like part of the backbone of that society is that people are in various guilds. And because that's just kind of how it is, you know, if you're a merchant, you know, it's like your union, you know, you're like, oh yeah, when someone's like, why should I trust that this is, you know, good jewelry or this is a genuine metal? It's like, oh, I have this stamp. In the same way that it's like, how should I trust that, like, I'm going to give you this mission? It's like, well, my tattoo, you know, like, this is like my symbol. And they'll go, oh, you're part of this guild. And I just love that whole world. And I realized that I haven't been, like, because you're a very, like, you're an adventuring party, really. You're not really a guild.
Right.
You're a guild because I forced you to be.
Yeah.
To be, like,
Which we
otherwise
are
you're...
developing it into
Um,
a guild now, but
Which he didn't have to, for the record. I
Right.
mean, he's, you know, like, he took care of everything.
yeah,
He paid the 1,000 gold piece. You know.
I did see that. I mean, that's something that I always wanted you guys to do in our 3.5 game. Is like, I don't know that we ever actually called them a guild. Like, they were always just kind of an adventuring party. But you guys did get like a hall at one point.
Mhm.
And you were, when we stopped playing, you had all started to like turn it into more of a guild where they were like,
We stopped playing
Acolytes.
right as we had rained treasure down
yes,
on the street, and literally the skeleton of a dragon that we defeated landed on top of our guild building, and we were called. I'm not gonna say it. But it was just like.
I really want to pick that back up because that was such like. But
Dude, it
a
was
cool-
fun, man.
I think whenever we finish this,
I had a mini made for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would totes play that.
That was, I forgot that's how it ended, because we did one session where we converted to 5E after that. But I feel like where we ended it is true, like they killed this adult or ancient. I don't remember now. They killed a big dragon really quickly. It upset me. But this was 3.5, and everybody had like super maxed out.
Oh, it wasn't a
characters.
skeleton. It was the whole dragon.
It was the whole
but
dragon.
in my head, we were gonna like harvest the
yeah,
skin
right.
and harvest the blood and harvest the meat and harvest the organs
And then put the skull like on
and
top.
then just leave
yeah.
its like posed dragon
Yeah.
just like ready to pounce on top of our structure to be like, this is our
And yeah,
guild.
and you had his entire dragon horde like raining down in the streets.
Mhm.
That was cool. All right.
And that town was called. It was like Manituck or something. I remember I always used to make fun of it because it sounded like a town from Long Island.
I think it was like Malvern.
Malvern. Malverin.
Malvern.
Malvern is the
Because
real town.
Yeah, Malvern's the real town.
It was Malverin.
Yeah. And then the country was called Lonsel.
Sorry, we're just nostalgiaing all over
All
the
right,
place.
so we're gonna go
Yeah, goodbye.
because we covered everything. We'll see you guys later.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.